Hello everybody, this is GeneralJannis, and today in Chaos Tactics I'm looking at the death cards points, the first look, and the first look of this new 10th edition point system that basically is just a power level style. With no further ado, let's get started. So today, the 16th of June, I had to cut the festival a bit short today because it started raining here in Copenhagen. If you are like metal music, I can just recommend a band that called Halifron I heard today. It's if you like melodic, evil-sounding metal, this could be something for you. But as I said in this video, looking at the points for Death Card, first of all, the system for points changes quite a lot with this Monitor and Field Manual. We are looking at the Death Card new points, comparing of Marines across factions and comparing Terminators across factions. So hang in there for the analysis of the points. So the point system has been revised. For the 10th edition, all war gear is now included in the unit costs, like something we had for Death Card, for example, for the Plague Marines. But now for all the units, all vehicles, everything, all the war gear that is possible to be taken is now included in the unit costs. Also, they are going away from points per model if you have squads, so they have points for various sizes of squads. For example, a 5-model squad, that could be 100 points, and then 10 models could be 200 points. If you want to not stay with 5 to 10, let's say you want to take 6 or 9 or 7 or something like that, why not 7? You still have to pay the 200 points for the 10-model squad. So basically, if you combine this is basically just the power level that we had previously, but now with a larger scale. Now it's basically point levels, but in essence, we just have power levels for the units. All the war gear is included, and you need to, if you go above a certain threshold of models, you have to pay the full points or power for the full squad. This the squad size here could be an issue for us. For example, if we want to put the Deathshroud in a Land Raider, so the maximum squad of Deathshroud is 6. But if you want to take a leader on board, there is room for 6 Terminator models in the Land Raider. Then you want to have 5 Deathshroud plus a leader. You still have to pay the cost for 6 Deathshroud in this combination instead of, let's say, you have to pay 280 points, and previously with the previous system you could be more freely taking, let's say, 4 Deathshroud if you had point issues or something like this. So it's something to look about. But I think for of course for Plague Marines, if you are a purist and you always want to run 7-man squads, yeah, you have to pay a lot for that. Okay, so now looking at the Death Card points compared to 9th edition. Basically here in this table I added all the units for Death Card, the 10th edition, and the Arcs of Omen points, and then a price increase or decrease. Yeah, you can see with percent points, and the color schemes are the greens are the units that decreased in cost going to the 10th edition, and the red, the yellowish are the units that have increased in cost. In general, we can see that our characters have been mostly reduced, have had point cuts. Not, of course, not the new Daemon Prince, because his profile is really upgraded, but then also his point costs increases. The vehicles, as we can see, nearly all are available Death Card vehicles, and also the more generic Chaos vehicles have gone up in points, 25% for the Plaguebear Scroller. So Plaguebear Scroller today 145 points, going up to 175 points. The Defiler increasing also, but now you have free weapons for these vehicles as well, but more expensive in 10th edition. And then for our squads, it's a bit of a mixture here. Our Plague Marines are now 20 points each, basically, so it's 1 point more per model. The Cultists and Poxwalkers are also more expensive, half to and 1 point per model. So 10 Poxwalkers is now 60 points, let's say, and 10 Cultists is 55 points. Previously, those were 50 points, the cheapest, let's say, units we could have. The Terminators, though, have been quite significantly reduced in cost. So Blightlord Terminators, a squad of 5 with free weapons also, only 175 points. Previously it was 200, then you would add points for the weapons. So Terminators, definitely, the Blightlords, definitely one of the units that saw the most significant cuts here. And the Deathshroud, 140 points, also 10 points lower for the minimum squad of Deathshroud. But what's going on with the Spawn and the Malignifier? So 2 Chaos Spawn now is 75 points, that previously have been costing 42 points. Of course, they have some Feel No Pain, but I don't see people using 2 Spawn for 75 points. The Miasmic Malignifier also from 65 points to 115 points. That's quite a big investment if you. It's difficult also sometimes to place your fortifications. If we look more to our characters, as I said, most of our characters have been reducing in cost. The Chaos Lords, 10 points less. We have the Lord of Contagion, is only 100 points now with all rerolling to hit. So I think he could be a very good combination here. Lord of Violence, 5 points less than today, but he also has some nice abilities as we have seen. The Death Card Sorcerer and Terminator armor that can give also -1 damage reduction to the unit he's leading, also only 100 points. The Malignant Playcaster, only 75 points. And Typhus, very, very big point decrease here, 50 points cheaper. He's only 115 points now. And also Mortarion, no longer above 400 points. He's cheaper than Magnus the Red now. And then if we look at our Virion, the main difference here is the Foul Blight Spawn. Now his aura, let's say fight first, and the enemy fight last, only affects basically one unit, but he's only 55 points. And also Talisman being decreased to 55 points and generating command points and giving you +1 to hits and things like that. Seems like an auto-include Talisman at least. And Bialugus Purifier is unchanged. And then, of course, if we look at our vehicles, as I said, Plague Scroller 175 points instead of 135, 145. And we have the Myphitic Blighthauler go up 5 points. The Foetid Blaotdrone go up 20 points. That's a bit hefty for our vehicles. And then quickly scanning across marine infantry, the mainstay battle line forces of a lot of armies. Quite interesting to see what's going on here. So starting with the Noise Marines, they are the cheapest marine I could find. It's 5 models for only 85 points, so quite a big decrease. Only 70 points per model basically. Then we have Intercessors at 19 points, and the same with Rubric Marines are now cheaper than Plague Marines. And with free weapons, the Rubric Marines were quite expensive in 9th edition. 21 points per model, and then you had to pay extra for the weaponry. Now they are as cheap as Intercessors. And then we have the Legionaries for the Chaos Space Marines and our Plague Marines for 100 points per 5, so that's basically 20 per model. And then Khorne Berserkers for the World Eaters, the most expensive basic, let's say, marine equivalent unit, 115 points for 5. So quite a big variation from 85 points for the Noise Marines up to 115 points for the Khorne Berserkers. Now looking to comparison of Terminators across factions, we are starting basically with the Blightlords are the cheapest Terminator. 4-inch movement maybe gives us some benefit on the point cost. So 35 points, the cheapest Terminator out there. Then we have for 39 points per model, we have the Chaos Space Marines Terminator and the World Eaters Terminator Squad. And then we have the Space Marines normal Terminator Squad is 41 points per model. That means 205 points for 5 models. And also the Scarabacle Terminators are also at 41 points per model, and free weapons also now for the Scarab Terminators. And then going up a bit the elite scale, the Deathshroud is equivalent to 47 points per model, and we have then the 8-pound are 52 points per model. But again, interestingly, the Blightlords are one of the cheapest Terminators in the game. So reaching to the summary and final thoughts, the points have arrived, so it will be a lot of time now to math hammer and start comparing what are the most efficient vehicles, the most efficient units, which Virion are most efficient to buff the damage output and durability of our Plague Marines, etc. I will get going on that, so have some patience, but I will try to do my best to bring you this analysis coming up. As we've seen with the first look, the Death Card characters have mostly received point cuts. The Terminators have become cheaper. The normal troops have been slightly increased, and the vehicles for Death Guard we have seen quite some increases in the points. But it's quite interesting looking very quickly at the Chaos Knights. For Chaos Knights, the War Dogs, some of them have actually not increased in points. They get more toughness. Have a fast move. They have strong weapons. So Dreadblades could be a solution for good good vehicles for the other Chaos factions. For example, the War Dog Stalker is now 135 points. So I will compare that, for example, with the Plague Scroller or the War Dog Executioner for long range shooting could be quite interesting. The War Dog Brigand also brings a lot of shooting to the table, but it's 150 points, so still cheaper than some of the Death Card options. So this concludes the first look at points. What do you think about the points? What are you happy with? What are you not so happy with? Let me know in the comments, or let's discuss in the Discord channel. And if you want to support my efforts to bring you this math hammer and analysis, please visit my Patreon page or become a YouTube member, and then you get a GeneralJannis icon next to your comments. So with these words, GeneralJannis signing out. Stay safe out there, and bye-bye.